Don't think about fake marriage. This is true marriage. This is true. Everything is true. Just you don't sleep together. That's all.
成本差不多我要付一共15万左右澳币，对吧？就申请完 PR 多久 PR 能下来？
短则2-3个月，慢则1年。Immigration, they believe that this is the true marriage. We go to holiday together, take a photo together.
He never thought he is teaching like this way. He's a fraud. Before you pay the sponsorship fee, he's going to charge $25 for that, or that's US. After he received the money, he's just ignoring us. His phone was completely disconnected.
So you paid $30,000 to start, and then they asked you for another.
Yeah, another $20,000 if you want this deal.
What could you buy with that in India?
A 3-bedroom house. A 3-bedroom house in a nice area. It's really big amount of money which he has taken from me.
And everyone's like 20,000, 40,000. Someone is like 75,000. I used to feel like killing myself because I can't go back to India after losing this much money. You're driving a very nice car, you live in a nice house. What would you say to someone who's given you their life savings?
I lost my life.
If you're born in Australia, you might not know what it's like to be looking from the outside in, to dream of a new future full of opportunity and promise. Last year, around 180,000 people migrated to Australia. But for many of those seeking a new life here, it can be an expensive and risky journey. My name's Elise Portaka. I've been a journalist with SBS for 4 years, and I'd heard about a kind of underground visa market where Australian permanent residency, or PR, is being bought and sold, sometimes for exorbitant amounts of money.
Nam, quốc tịch Úc, đã ly dị, muốn tìm một phụ nữ Việt Nam tuổi trên dưới 50.
亚男可以帮助打算移澳洲。
When we first started researching, we came across these posts in online forums and community language newspapers. They're advertisements for people seeking their perfect match, but it's not love they're after. What they're looking for is a visa marriage.
Male Australian citizen looking for a Vietnamese woman can sponsor.
This is not completely surprising. Nearly 50,000 partner visas were granted last year. In Melbourne, I team up with colleagues from the SBS Mandarin and Vietnamese programs. We're going undercover as would-be brides to speak with those in the visa marriage market. I meet with a 38-year-old Chinese guy. Let's call him Chen. He's in Australia on a tourist visa, but would like to stay.
我也不太清楚是怎么做，但是
还是有好多人做，
是吗？
有好多人做成的。
要多长时间你觉得？
可能要具体的我也不知道，可能要2-3年吧。
2-3年，从开始到
3年或者。
Chen's English is pretty poor, and my Mandarin is not great. He's brought along an older woman who does most of the talking.
你只能是所有的就是 proof and enough to support that the immigration liability becomes no.
Chen told me he'd be willing to pay $100,000 for the marriage. And this seems to be the going rate, give or take 50 grand, paid in instalments until PR is finalised.
Normally, the guy will take 100,000 is in his pocket. Yeah, that is his pocket money. Whatever over, you pay for it. Like lawyer fee, wedding. But wedding, you can just go to the church, sign your certificate.
24000一步，那也就是说我领证之前先给你24000，然后再
遇到票的计票钱，然后票，然后计票，然后票
多少
？24000，一共
一般是他们就是按照他们这样操作的话，一般是通过什么方式给的？我倒不了解。
最好是看，因为不想在银行里面留来钱。如果你突然查你账户，他会怀疑你的账户，他会怀疑你的账户，账户
of money to hand over to someone you hardly know. There are no contracts signed and no paper trail.
It's interesting to see why people would take such a big risk with so much money involved.
Maybe they have tried a lot of methods to get a visa, but they failed, so they can only have the last method to get a visa. I think they maybe hope for a good result. Once they have the permanent visa, maybe they can also make some money out of their own visa.
Also, I mean, they could then sponsor someone else to come and make the money back.
Yes.
That's interesting.
So visa marriages are basically an option of last resort for those who can't get permanent residency any other way. But I soon find out that it's employer sponsorships where people are really cashing in. Last year, 50,000 people were granted employer-sponsored visas to live and work in Australia. These visas are increasingly popular with foreign students who've already invested time and money here. There's a lot of paperwork involved, and this is where job brokers and migration agents come in. They say they can help navigate the government's complex system. Sujaman and Lena live in Kerala in India's south. In 2008, Lena studied hospitality in Australia. She thought she'd be eligible to apply for permanent residency after graduating. But then the rules around PR changed.
Complete 2 years, they were giving permanent residency there.
While we study, it is already changed. Rule is changed. Keep changing rules.
The couple returned to India, but not before meeting and placing their trust in a registered migration agent.
You have a certificate third and fourth. In hospitality, you can apply for sponsorship.
The agent said he had a cafe that could sponsor Lena, but there was a catch.
The employer fee, the sponsorship fee, is going to charge $25,000 for that.
How much? 25,000.
That's right, yeah. That's US dollars.
In this recording, the migration agent appears to be asking Sujaman and Lena to pay the employer for the visa sponsorship. Under the Migration Act, this is illegal.
I tried to negotiate with them, but to be honest, there are people over here actually paying 50 or 100,000. That's very hard. However, this is a genuine job.
He asks for the money to be paid in cash.
These employers will only accept cash, so you either need to give it to somebody in Melbourne to actually come and meet us over here, or trying to think of the best way. He won't allow bank to bank.
In 2015, the government increased penalties for payment for sponsorship, both for the person requesting payment and for those giving it. But Sujaman and Lena thought they were investing in their future and trusted their agent. He was registered after all.
I thought this is a huge money. Well, we can't afford this. Then you will lose your opportunities. And this is the only ones you get in Australia.
As it turns out, Sujaman and Lena lost more than the chance to start a new life in Australia.
After he received the money and after he charged his professional fees and all the money, he's just ignoring us. His phone was completely disconnected. At the end, he said the visa completely refused.
We reached out to the migration agent. His family told us he's unwell and not able to take our calls. But he's still officially registered with MARA, the government body that oversees the industry.
We feel awful. We feel really how we move forward our life.
It's not just individual migration agents or employers taking money off clients when they see an opportunity. There are entire companies trading in the exploitation of foreign students and would-be migrants. I've come to Brisbane to investigate a skilled visa recruitment agency called Global Skills and Business Services. We'll call it Global Services for short. The company was set up and run by this man, Jack Raskovich. They promised to help foreign students find sponsored jobs and a pathway to a visa. The students signed employment contracts and met with Jack and his staff in professional-looking offices in Sydney, Melbourne and here in Brisbane.
So we're just about to drive past the office building where Global Services has its Brisbane office, and it's like a 40-storey glass-plated tower block. You know, it's the kind of place you would definitely feel confident to go to.
The services the company offered did not come cheap. Clients handed over at least $25,000. Sometimes it was $40,000 or $50,000. But in many cases, they've received little in return.
In 2016, he found me a good employer and everything was good and I signed a contract with him. But that job never happened in real. Everything happened on paper. I had paid just one installment, which was $25,000.
I paid him $40,000. All money I got from India, from my in-laws and my parents. They have mortgaged their property and got the money they transferred from India. Then employment never happened and I was asking for my money back since like June this year.
Global Services Standard Agreement says clients are entitled to a refund if the job doesn't last at least 12 months.
When I was asking for my money for a few months, he was promising me like they were in the process of finalizing my refund. And after that, I got the email like the company is being liquidated. They won't give me my money back.
So he targets the employment expectations of the students at first place. And then he tells you that if you start this job, of course you will settle down here permanently, like the business is good enough to sponsor a student. That's how he thinks.
In September, Jack Raskovich placed Global Skills and Business Services into liquidation. He's claiming it has no assets and more than $2.4 million in debts. There are 45 creditors, like Vani and Mandeep, who've been left out of pocket.
I was in depression, to be honest. I was all alone here. My family doesn't know about it. So I used to cry like all night and I don't know. I used to feel like killing myself because I can't go back to India after losing this much money.
23-year-old Angkor is working hard day and night to try and make back the money he lost.
Basically, I drive taxis for first 5 nights, which is like 5 shifts, 12-hour shifts. I drive Uber as well on the weekend. So this is how it's going.
Angkor paid $50,000 to Global Services. His father back in India used his savings and then took out a high-interest loan to cover the cost.
If Jack doesn't give me my money back, what I'm gonna say to my dad?
And do you think your dad is feeling pressure as well around this?
He is absolutely feeling the pressure because the money which he earned in his entire life, he gave me just in a moment. If somebody is offering you a job, if somebody is giving you a job, you want to grab the thing. You just don't want to miss that. But there is no job and he just fooled us.
Hi, this is Jeff. Thank you for the text. I will return the call as soon as possible. Thank you.
This is what happens all the time and you do it all the time. Please send me a text and I'll get back to you. Please pick up my call someday. I'm trying to call you from several days, several months now. It's almost a year that you are not picking up my phone. So if you got this message, please give me a call back or ask anybody from your staff that give me a call back.
So what kind of business was Global Services running? I've teamed up with Fairfax investigative journalist Mario Christodoulou to try and work it all out.
The amounts that people are paying for this are huge, $60,000, $50,000. They'll walk into his office, Jack will promise them a job in a regional area, and he claims that these jobs are a pathway towards getting a visa.
It works like this. Global Services was paid tens of thousands of dollars to find clients jobs that would let them stay in Australia. When it worked, Jack's company would find a willing business and in some cases offer them money to hire his clients. But in some cases, there were no jobs.
When you talk to these employers, on occasion they'll say they've never heard of Jack, they've never heard of his company.
Yeah, so when it doesn't work out, the job doesn't exist, so it's just a job on paper, or the job does exist but really doesn't match up with the skills of the person.
I think most alarmingly of all, they'll say they were offered money to take the work, and sometimes money, in one instance,
Internal documents refer on one occasion to a training fee of $10,000 offered to employers. But the question is, where's the rest of the money gone? Jack Raskovich owns and runs another company called Specialized Resources. Some of Global Services clients were asked to pay their money into Specialized Resources accounts, and in the months before Global Services went broke, his second company billed them for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
We don't know what Specialized Resources actually does as a company. We've seen invoices that show that they're receiving payments.
Now, the other interesting company is the Hospitality Institute of Australia.
This third company, run by a family member, also submitted invoices for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And while Global Services has nothing in the bank, Specialized Resources does.
Specialized Resources, well, they own a $3 million mansion. They have a latest model 2017 black Porsche. The assets on paper belong to his company. But we know that he uses the Porsche. It's his home address. He lives there. His family lives there.
I'd like to welcome you to one of the Hills District's finest homes.
This is the $3 million house owned by Specialized Resources. This real estate video was made at the time of purchase. This is the house where Jack now lives with his family. While Global Services is in liquidation, Jack is now working for a new company called All Borders. It's run out of the same head office space and appears to be offering the same services. The company is registered under his partner's name. I put in multiple calls to Jack Raskovich to request it. I rang his office and his mobile. After I sent an email, the account was shut down and the Global Services website went offline. I wanted to know what happened to the rest of the money that former clients paid to Global Services.
Jack, good, I'm Elise with SBS TV. How are you? Just like to ask you a few questions if we can. Look, we just want to know, we've got a lot of people who'd like to know where the money's gone. Look, we know that you put your company in liquidation and that's basically you're claiming new assets. Where's that money gone? You're driving a very nice car, you live in a nice house. What would you say to someone who's given you their life savings? So you've got no comment.
Confronting Jack Raskovich didn't provide any real answers, but it left me wondering if this is just the case of one poorly run company, or if it's a symptom of a bigger problem. In researching this story, we heard from others who've also lost money to dodgy job brokers or migration agents. But many are afraid to come forward and unsure of their rights.
We don't know the basic rules, basic law where to go and to whom we should complain and who can guide us. As international people, we don't know that.
Finding out how to seek justice is also incredibly difficult. Ji Eun-han, a migration agent doing the right thing, says it's not uncommon for would-be migrants to be exploited.
So we advise them, okay, you need to contact the immigration department and also mail tracking. But they're a bit scared to do it because they think about, okay, it will cause more trouble for them as well.
Ji Eun-han says changes to the law that made it illegal to pay for sponsorship have only made it harder for victims to speak out.
Once the new rule is being introduced, we expect the department to stop these people. But as you can see, they're still out there. They're still operating in the same office, just changing the company name.
And that's the problem. I think that the international student community are incredibly vulnerable and incredibly marginalised, and that's why they're being targeted.
Sydney's Redfern Legal Centre has been pushing for legal reforms that would encourage victims to speak out.
That actually puts better protection in place for the international student, and that is that they're able to come forward and are able to present their situation without fear that their visa will be cancelled.
Those who are now coming forward to share their stories are hoping that the Australian legal system catches up with the perpetrators. Sijman and Lena and the many others who've been exploited have also lost the genuine fees they paid to the government for their visa applications.
I would like to request the government, please help us.
just to do investigation about this and please help us. That's all I can say.
Basically, it's Australia. So it's not other nation or something where people can do frauds like this, but it's Australia. And I was never thinking about this thing, like frauds can happen in Australia as well.
Angkor is not sure he'll ever get his money back, but he hopes that speaking out might make a difference.
The main thing which we can do is to stop him for doing this thing to other innocent people. You know, there are so many international students in Australia at the moment. So what reason do they come here? They come here for a good job. Every student who comes here, he seeks his future in Australia.
Australia has opened its doors to international students, and they've opened their wallets. Our economy benefits from them paying fees for university or for their visa applications. It seems like it's in our interest to make sure they're treated fairly.